Bioshock, we're on chapter The Soldier's Field, double A gamer for life. Okay, so once you get through the battleship area, and there's only a little bit of action in this, basically this video, this chapter. Uh, we're kind of to the point where we go into Soldier's Field, and we're going to be quested to go off and find the shock jockey. In the previous videos, I called the plasmas, it's basically the vigors, basically the salts, the magic you use out of your left hand. You got the devil's hand, the possession. We're going to find the bucking bronco, and that's basically going to be one of my main vigors throughout the game. The bucking bronco is definitely comes into play. There's definitely quite a few of them in there. They're all good stuff. I just wish the weapons kind of worked like the vigors. Every weapon you picked up had the weapon wheel, so you could just kind of switch through your weapons. It would have made the game a whole different animal and a lot more enjoyable as well. Especially later in the game when you're fighting the siren, Mrs. Comstock. I mean, it's just a very hard battle. We're on the hard difficulty, mode 1999, whatever you want to call it. It's the hardest difficulty, and they made it a double whammy. It's like, of course, we want to get our achievement for playing the game on its hardest difficulty, but the other side to that is you have to do the whole game in its hardest difficulty and not use any of the ammo machines. Now the other machines, as far as upgrading your weapons and your vigors, is fine, but you can't use the other machine basically to buy health or ammo or anything like that, and that definitely takes a lot away from it. But I mean, I did it. I actually did it a couple times, but it sucks. And later in the game when you're fighting Mrs. Comstock, the one area, there's a machine off to the side. It could have just easily run off and, upped your ammo and that kind of thing during the middle of the fight. But
can you open this?
And the way it's set up, there's really no way to kind of play one and then do the other. It wouldn't make any sense. So, nevertheless, we're playing it on its hardest difficulty, and we gotta pretty much not use the ammo machines. Later with the add-ons, when you're playing as that girl, and Booker's kind of like an entity that kind of talks to her, but she's able to have a weapon wheel, and that's a nice little plus. I can't tell you, it's like you'll come across ammo and it'll say, well, you're full. You're like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. Like you got shotgun and you're not carrying the shotgun, but ammo will come across and it'll say you're full with the shotgun ammo. And you're like, I think like right there. Anyway,
tell them we got lost looking for the bathroom.
And that works.
There's no question the game has some pretty sweet graphics, and this carbine rifle is like my main weapon throughout the game. And as you saw when we came into this room, was the first time we had to deal with lockpicking, and she does that, the girl does. But we need to find the lock picks in order for her to do that. And that one needs 5, and I only had a few, so we'll be coming back for that safe. And you definitely need to do that because the safes pay out good, and the way the money comes to you in this game, it's not very plentiful, so you need to get as much as you can when you can.
But simple. Wringing the linen, scrubbing the floors. Lady Comstock, she even had a kind word now and then. Almost enough to make me think I had a place in their world. God made foolish girls so he could have something to play with.
You could try forcing it open. shock jockey. Who needs the power company?
Some fool's alternative to electricity.
Doesn't seem to work very well.
Alright, so the shock jockey is basically what we need to get. It's all going to come into play. The airship that we need to get to, we got to energize the little thing, and so that little thing will be coming into play. I make many trips back and forth to that to re-up my salts.
There it is. First Lady. Looks like it's heading for the dock.
That will take us to Paris.
Just stay close.
Yes, Mr. DeWitt.
Call me Booker.
All right, Booker.
Okay, although there's not a lot of
Or take a look around
gunplay in this one towards the end of the level, but you gotta search all the areas. I mean, it's very crucial to find those lockpicks, and then also we got to get all the voxophones as well.
And when I came to Washington, there were few in Congress who saw my vision for Columbia. But it is the burden of the prophet to bring the wicked to righteousness. For what am I, if not a mirror to reflect the face of God?
Hot dogs! Get 'em hot here!
You clean this father's rifle every Sunday without being asked. In which you slice every afternoon and put the old man.
Do you know why you were hired to come and get me?
I imagine they were interested in meeting you. No doubt for lockpicking lessons.
Why you?
I never even heard of this place before I got here.
Huh.
Okay, so the Hall of Heroes is where we'll be heading.
Guess I got a bit behind with current events.
Our broadcast will continue after a moment of silent prayer for the victims of today's brutality.
Interesting.
Lockpick, yes, I'll take that. Yeah, we need 5 to get back to that safe. And again, you got to do it, man. There's like $240 dollars in that safe, so gotta make a backtrack to get that. As you can see, these upgrades are quite pricey, so it's hard because there's a lot, like, oh man, I love to upgrade the weapons, and I like to upgrade the vigors, and it's just
What are you, Mr. DeWitt?
there's just not enough money, and there's
I'm
not a whole lot of
independent
side things
contractor.
to do in
Used
the
to work for the
game.
Pinkertons and such.
Like any kind of
That's something
bounties
you
you
want
can go
gracing
get
your
or
resume.
anything to that effect. The only
Aren't they the
other
ones that
thing
call
that's
in to
kind
say
of
things when the workers
what you would
search?
consider a side
So-
thing or optional is you'll
that's
find
a
a lot
word
of
for it.
cipher rooms. Basically, you come across in the Hall of Heroes. In the next video, we'll hit our first cipher
When
room.
I was a girl, I dreamt of
and
standing in a
they'll be
room
like,
looking at a
"Oh, we
girl
need the
who
code book to
was
break it."
and was not
And
myself.
it's usually in
Who
the
stood
same
looking at
area.
another girl
And
who
you go
also
get the
was
book, and then
and
you
was
go back
not
to the
myself.
room, and you figure out a way to
My
get
mother
in
took
there.
this for a
And
nightmare.
you need to do
I
that.
saw it as the beginning of a career in
one, the
physics.
extra loot, and there's most likely an infusion in there to upgrade your health, salt, or the shield.
So, Mr. DeWitt, is there a woman in your life?
There was. She died.
How?
Giving birth.
See, later
You
in
have a
that
child?
room that I just
No.
passed, I think I might make a trip
What?
through there.
I was just imagining.
There's a locked door in there that you need the shock jockey to get through. So after we get it and we
You
come
smoke
back
'em
to
if you
this
got 'em.
area, you have to make sure to go up in there
I ain't no
to
gendarme.
do that. And the other thing is, like, these trash containers, anything that's got loot in it, it would kind of like you go in there, your health is full, and there'd be like money, health, or salt in there, or whatever, ammo. But it would be nice, like, the items that you didn't need would stay in there, so you can go back and reloot it.
Time's coming, she
So
said.
let's say there's food in there, money, and ammo, and you didn't need the food, so you just pressed to collect it, but the items you didn't need stayed there. That would have been kind of a nice thing, but it doesn't work that way. Okay, so when we finally get to moving on, this area is going to be a hot spot, so that's why I'm laying some traps down. And the devil's hand, the fire is a good thing for the traps. I've had good luck with it. I'll be making a few trips out to the old salt machine. If you've seen any of the other videos, you'll notice that I fill up the salt meter first. Like if you look at it, I might have 3 towards health and 4 towards shield, but I'll have 7 or 8 to that. So filling up the salt ability is top on my upgrades as far as that goes. So I'm laying all the traps down, considering there's a salt machine right over there. I can just keep running back and forth to fill it up, and why not? Okay, so we are on the hardest difficulty, which means you're going to take more damage, so you have to be a little bit more concerned about running out into a firefight. Okay, so once we hit the lever over there, that's going to spawn up the enemies.
Summon the gondola
Okay,
fleet to
so
release that airship.
the items of clothing that you wear, you got a hat, a vest, pants. I can't comment on the boots, I can't really remember, but they all give you a little something, and as you can see when I whack them with my little melee thing, it does a little electric shock, and then I think the vest will give you extra range. So I kind of use that for the whole game. And later on, when I'm fighting the Patriots, found that it's actually easier to just melee him with my little electric shock ability than it is to try to get around him. It'd be different if the electric shock worked longer. Basically his soft spot, he's got some gears on the back, but he's tough to get behind. And a lot of times I just found it's just easier just to melee him compared to trying to shock him to get around them. But the little shock ability doesn't last long, so... Alright, so now that we got 5 picks, we're going to head back to that safe.
Can you help me out with this lock?
Looks easy enough. All yours.
Hell yeah. I need that money. Okay, so a little thing goes
Looks like
out.
this runs
They're like,
exclusively
oh,
on
we're gonna need
shock
to get some
jock.
shock jockey
Of
to
course
get it
it
back
does.
going again.
Where in the hell are we gonna find that?
Look! Heroes.
That's convenient.
Gentlemen, the false shepherd is loose in the streets of our
Alright, so we're off to the Hall of Heroes now.
the shame of allowing your wives and your daughters to fall prey to his machinations. Or will you act? Act for your womenfolk. Act for your prophet. Act.
You got no backbone.
Alright, so throughout the game, I'm going to be trying to upgrade the carbine and the RPG. And again, it's one of those things you gotta learn. It's like, I like the shotgun, it's a nice weapon, but obviously it has no distance. So, and then, you know, like when you're coming across the machines to upgrade your weapons, you're just like, well, you know, like there's a Magnum or something to that effect. Like, well, I don't know how many times I'm going to be carrying that weapon. Is it worth upgrading it? So the weapons that I know that I'm going to be using are the carbine and the RPG. So those weapons will definitely get upgraded, and then I'll be upgrading the vigors as well. Eventually I'll be upgrading the possession because that will come to play throughout the whole game. And then the crows come in handy too. When you get to the handymen, those are quite tough to deal with, and none of the other vigors really seem to do anything to him. So you know, like the shock jockey will stun the patriot, but like I said, I kind of found a way to deal with them just using a little melee, because my little melee thing has got a little electric shock on it as well, so that comes into play. But the handyman I was having a tough time with, so basically
Thanks.
I used the crows on him, and that seems to slow him down. He'll sit there and just kind of, oh, these things are bugging me or attacking me or whatever, and he just stands there swatting at them. So that gives you the time it takes to be hitting him with the RPG or whatever you got going on. So the crows is definitely something I will put a little bit of upgrade to as well. And then the devil's hand with the fire, it seems to really take care of business as well, so I'll be throwing some upgrades there. And like the bucking bronco, if you upgrade it, like they will be suspended in air longer, and that becomes a big play as well. So I actually wind up probably upgrading more of the vigors than I do the weapons. And the thing is if they had the weapons wheel where you were carrying every weapon, it would change things a little bit differently. You know, because like if you ran low on carbine ammo, you could easily just switch to your shotgun or pistol or something to that effect. But because you're only able to carry 2 weapons at a time, you can't really utilize the upgraded weapons. Like this weapon behind me here is the heater. And it's just a pretty awesome one-shot weapon, but you don't get a whole lot of ammo with it. So, although it's very nice, it doesn't really, you know, pay to carry it. So, anyway, like I said, what I wind up upgrading is the carbine and the RPG, which will be coming to play in the other video. But we're off to the Hall of Heroes, and there's kind of some levels there. We're going to have our first cipher door in there, and we'll see you there.